Hey guys, it's Amari here back with another gym video, and this time you're gonna see me perform a power slash technique workout. So this is a workout plan that I am doing when I want to improve my technique, when I want to work on things like the pause bench press, the pause squat, and you're gonna see me in this workout perform the pause bench press and lowering a little bit of that intensity in terms of how much weight I'm using on the other movements. And I'm also gonna do some isolation work for the arms, and I felt pretty good in this workout. And the reason why I chose to do a power slash technique day, it's kind of a fatigue management day in terms of bodybuilding, how you structure your workouts, because I had a deload plan this week. So I was supposed to do a deload where I was supposed to cut down on the volume, reduce the intensity a little bit, and at the same time I have a trip planned to the UK, and I just couldn't do both at the same time, right? You can't just rely on that you're going to be able to do a deload in a new city where you don't even really know what the gyms are looking like, if we're going to even go and have time to train. So I decided to continue training for this week before traveling, to overtrain myself a little bit more, to overreach myself even as much as I can, because I'm anticipating that I'm going to have at least 3 to 4 days where I'm not going to be able to train at all. So for that reason, I said, hey, let me just throw in a power slash technique day, even though I'm done with my workouts for the week. But let me just throw that in just to make sure that I get some, extra stimulation, because I'm sure that there's going to be some recovery time there, and then I'm going to be able to recover. So there you saw me doing the standard warm-up routine that you guys seen me do every single time. Warm up the shoulders, warm up everything. This time I actually extended it a little bit more because I'm really sore, I'm really fatigued. I throw in some of those push-ups there. I threw in some of those hyperextensions because my back was super sore, because I did the deadlift, I did the squat before this workout, and also I threw in some lat pull downs as well, just to make sure that there's some extra blood flow there. And here, the first thing you're gonna see me perform in this workout is the paused bench press. So I threw in a couple of sets of this to really work on that technique. The load isn't very heavy, and this is something that I pretty much do, let's say once a month. I would make a workout like this just to make sure that I'm still comfortable in that quote unquote hole, or in that lower position, in that tight position of the bench press. I want to be comfortable in that position. I want to be comfortable when the bar is resting on my arms in that position, and that's something that the pause bench press really teaches you. And it's one of the tools that I always use to make sure that my bench press doesn't lag in terms of range of motion, because a lot of guys will not hit that range of motion properly, and then they're wondering, well, why is my chest not growing? Why am I not progressing in my bench press? Well, one thing is really range of motion and really having that tightness. So this is the movement. This is the movement you want to be doing. One specific topic that I wanted to also cover while you guys are watching me lift in this video is the whole premise of like, whatever works for someone has to work for everyone. And that's something I hear a lot in the fitness industry, and I think a lot of people are kind of misinterpreting this, and they're getting confused with things like intermittent fasting, things like low carb versus high carb diets, things like workouts, which workout is the best one, should I do bro splits, should I do full body. So I just wanted to go into that a little bit for you guys, to give you my general philosophy of someone who has done research and someone who has worked and known more than 100 people, and I see that there's a lot of variety in how people respond. For someone who hasn't worked with hundreds and hundreds of people directly, they don't know that there's a big variety of response in terms of individuals. Things like intermittent fasting works for me. I feel great when I do intermittent fasting. If I have 1800 calories, I can have 2 big meals and I feel awesome. I had more than 3 dozen clients who didn't respond to intermittent fasting at all, and there were also a combination of men and women there. So I can see that it's not a one size fits all solution. I had more than 70, 100 clients that did respond really well to intermittent fasting and when they were on a diet. Some of them couldn't do it on a bulk, they could do it on a diet. Some of them actually could do it on a bulk, but they couldn't do it on a diet. It just doesn't make any sense. There's a lot of individual variability in that specific concept, such as the eating window. Some people also respond better to having a 6-hour eating window. Some will only fit a 12-hour eating window. You can't really know. And that's an important thing to understand, as when you're kind of, I guess, you're self-coaching yourself, you want to be sure that you're not attached to any belief and any idea that is not working for you, because it's easy to do something that doesn't work for you, and over time you're going to build an identity around that. And that's something I did in the past as well, right? So in my second year of training, really good example, I didn't know much about nutrition, right? I was not aware of like macros. I didn't know what energy balance was. I really didn't read the scientific papers, and I got into the whole paleo thing, right? I was doing a little bit of that paleo thing. I was like, damn it, this is awesome. And at the same time, I was trying the low carb approach. And if at that point you came up to me before I became a coach, before I started working with people, that was way back when I just started getting some results, I would be telling you paleo is the best freaking thing that ever existed. We need to eat sweet potatoes, we need to eat a ton of meat, we need to go low carb, and all these other things. And low carb actually made me feel miserable. I was depressed. I forgot how to fucking laugh. That's how bad I felt on low carb. But because I was doing it for such a long time, I was identifying with it and I was promoting it unconsciously. I didn't even know what I was saying, that it was the best approach out there. And I didn't realize, hey, that there's a lot of variety between individuals. And even myself, I couldn't even do it for myself properly. And then afterwards, when I said, hey, this is really not working, I'm not getting the results that I want, let me just learn more, educate myself. Then I spent the next 3 years devouring every single scientific paper I could find, books on nutrition, energy balance, books like Advanced Nutrition and Human Metabolism. That's a highly recommended book if you're ever looking to master your nutrition. These books, I just went in there. I think guys like Lionel McDonald, his books, and like Guides on Flexible Dieting. I was like, well, look, I might have been wrong. And until I had admitted that I was wrong, I was not moving forward. And then I was like, okay, let me try this high carbohydrate, low fat diet for myself. And man, I exploded. My gains exploded. I got a better pump in the gym. I feel better, energetic. My brain worked better. Every single thing in my life improved. But again, at that point I realized, well, look, if this works for me, does this work for everybody? And as I started working with clients about 2.5 years ago, and even now 3 years ago, I realized, well, look, if some people do respond well on low carb, then some people respond differently on high carb and low carb. So we need to see what works for them. And that's the idea there, right? So for some people, let's say that low carb, they feel sluggish, slow, depressed, completely destroyed. They can't even think, like me. And for me, high carb works awesome. For some other people, from some of my clients, they can't do high carb. If they do high carb, they just go to sleep after every meal. They can't think. They just can't think. On low carb, they're awesome. They're full of energy. They're enthusiastic. They're happy. And everything is great. Simple example. Same for the bro splits and versus the full body workout. Someone might like the bro split, and that's the only workout they will actually stick to. The best workout is the one you will do consistently. That's the first rule of every workout. So if someone can get a little bit better gains with the full body workout, do they really care about gains as much as how it makes them feel, right? So these are some of the things that you always want to be considering as a person. What is giving me results, but also, is that thing the best thing for me? And people complain all the time, like how someone else is doing something and they're never looking inward what they should be doing. So someone sees my diet and I say, hey, I ate 2,000 calories in this full day of eating video. And someone's like, well, shouldn't I be also doing 2,000 calories? Well, no, man, like 2,000 calories might not be the best approach for you. Maybe you have a faster metabolism. Maybe you have your NEAT levels, your non-exercise activity thermogenesis is sky high. Maybe you can burn fat on 3,000 calories. Maybe you need to eat 5,000 calories to gain weight and I need to eat about 3,000. It's very individual, and you want to be observing what is giving you the results, what is moving you forward, and do that. What you can look for in guys like myself and in other successful YouTubers who are very consistent is for inspiration for hard work. That is one universal principle that you can get from observing how I do my workouts, how many videos I post, what I do on my social media. I keep inspiring, I keep working hard, keep improving myself. These are general principles of success that will apply for everybody. But things like on the individual nature, things like nutrition, training, recovery ability, work capacity, how much volume you should be doing, those are all individual factors that you need to find for yourself, that you need to tailor for yourself over time, or work with a coach who has worked with hundreds of people who can tell you, well, this is a good starting point, and let's analyze, let's listen to your body, let's see what your body is telling you, and let's take it from there. Let's improve and optimize over time. That's why a coaching program like my own, I will not work with anybody in less than 6 months. 6 months is a minimum that I'm gonna work with someone, because I need to get to know them. I need to get to know how they respond individually to a training plan before we can even start to optimize that training plan. And it makes me a little bit sick when I see how many generic plans are being sold out there, generic nutrition, meal plans, stuff like that. I mean, who fucking buys this stuff? I mean, do people still believe that they can just pick someone else's workout and just get the results? I mean, it's just crazy how people are just not looking objectively and realistically at it. But that's just the way we are. That's just the way we humans are. And I mean, I can't blame them. I did the same freaking thing. I tried I tried more than a dozen workouts. I tried probably like 30-40 workouts and 30-40 different nutrition approaches before I really learned what really matters and how you can actually implement this, how you can tailor it to yourself. So a little bit of a rant as well here as you guys are watching me lift. I got a really good pump on these preacher curls here. Felt really good. I'm closing in on the end of my diet. I'm in the last third, last push for the diet. Feeling really happy with the results so far. You guys see my posing motivational physique update video that I just posted the other day. It was amazing. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, make sure to leave any comment below. If you have any questions, obviously you want to put it below. I always listen, I always answer. And make sure to hit that subscribe button as well to support this channel. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.